back to my channel and welcome back to a brand new video. I feel so good to be filming this video. I feel like it's not even long overdue. I just feel like it's something I need to do in order to come back to YouTube properly, and I just want to get a lot of things off my chest, talk about a lot of things, and I thought what better than to do a mukbang and leave it pretty much completely unedited. So the only thing you're going to see is some cuts of me cutting out some stuff that I don't necessarily want in there, but for the majority of it I'm going to keep in me eating because I love watching mukbangs. There's so many people that I watch, especially like seafood boards and everything. So if this isn't your thing, head on prawns, shell on prawns, then I don't know, give this video a miss, I guess. I personally watch these videos to go to sleep. I don't necessarily like the sound of people eating. It's just watching the food. Like, people eat good on YouTube and I want to be one of those people. So this is the best that I could do. Now, I have not made this myself, as you can tell from the tins. So here we have Jimmy's killer prawns. So I've just got the platter for one. So we have some shell on prawns done in their own way, and then we have Jimmy's rice. This stuff is bussin'. It is the best. And then I also, because last time I had this I shared a platter for two and I literally kept going up for more, and I wish I had the whole thing to myself. That would be very greedy of me to have that right now, but because I like to pick, I'm more of a picker, I also got some creamy mushroom pasta. I'm excited to see this. You can see it's also got some cheese on there. How cute as well. They put in some chia butter. So nice, so nice. So let's get this off and see what we're dealing with. Fuck me up. Fuck me up. That looks so good. Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm happy about that. To everyone else at home, it probably looks very plain, but when you're having something like this, I like that. I've got lots of sauces, so I've got lemon butter, garlic butter, and this is just Jimmy's. It's like a tomatoey sauce with a bit of a kick. And that is it. Got some lemon. I'm just going to squeeze them over my prawns. The most annoying thing about this video is that I have nails on. I hate having nails on when peeling prawns. It's just, it's not the vibe, not the vibe. Oh, I kind of just want to dive in before we even get into the questions. So I got you guys to ask me some questions over on Instagram. I'm just going to peel a prawn while we're talking about this. And I'm going to try and not scroll through my phone too much because I don't want to get my screen dirty, but there is quite a few that I can see. You guys pretty much asked an array of questions. There was a lot of things you wanted to know about, but the main few things kept cropping up, so we'll definitely address them in this video. So tricky with nails. Ugh, I usually can peel them like all in one, so not on myself. However, do just want to point out I am definitely an amateur at this mukbang situation. So to anyone at home that's going to be watching and judging anything I do, quite frankly, just leave it out. I'm really struggling. Maybe I should have peeled a few before I started this video, because I don't know, it's kind of satisfying they listen. It's kind of nice, right? I kind of like that sound. I have seen people eat prawns like whole shell. I'm not really about that life. I also probably should have opened the sauces before I dove into that. So let's go. I can't really remember what this one is. I think this is the garlic butter. I don't know though, it's not a very strong scent. I can't figure it out, I'm not really too sure. This one I always thought was the lemon butter. I don't actually really like this. It's a bit cheesy and I just don't really like that with prawns. I don't know, I'll give it another try. Maybe I just didn't like it last time, because actually, how weird is this? So I saw this girl on TikTok and she was talking about how after she had COVID she had something called parosmia, I believe that's how you pronounce it. My god, have I had that too. Like, I don't actually know when I got COVID, but it must have been sometime mid last year, because I've had this really horrible taste. It's not like garbage or anything, it's like, I can't actually even explain it. It's the weirdest taste in the world. I hope that's that. I hope that's the garlic butter. And what it means is all the things I eat at the start, it's actually worn off a little bit. Everything I ate for as long as I can remember has this really weird taste or smell to it. The triggers that I had is one of them that I'm eating now actually, was rice. Rice was one of the things that I really struggled with, and I still do, but it's as if I've kind of just like pushed past it and pushed past the taste and got used to it, because when I went to the Caribbean, all I had was rice. Rice isn't everything, obviously, it's like a key to every single dish. So I just forced myself to like it. This rice, luckily, I assume it might be just because it doesn't have garlic in or something, but this doesn't taste like it. This is good. Another trigger was eggs. Still is eggs, can't really have them. Pepper, weirdly. What else did I have? There is some other things that I'm not too sure what they are, but you just know when you get that taste. Luckily I've never had it with drinks. Drinks has never triggered me. It's just certain foods, and God bless this poor girl, like, she quite frankly could not even drink water without having this taste, and she's really struggling. I feel so bad for her, but I'm also so thankful I don't have it that bad. This sauce, don't know what it is, but oh, it's just so good. I don't know if they have Jimmy's anywhere else. I hope they do, because I don't want Manchester to just be hogging it. I will get up some questions while we are chilling, chai grilling. So, what have we got here? I don't normally use a fork, I normally use my hands, but I thought I'd be a bit more polite on YouTube. Okay, I think this is a really good one to start off with. It is 2022 goals and resolutions. So, this year, I don't really have resolutions as such. It's more looking after myself. So I'm not making any promises to myself, because you can be massively let down by resolutions, and I just don't think they're the best sometimes if you're not in a good mental state, aka me. So I'm not like forcing myself to stick to a resolution, because majority of the time we don't keep them, and if you do, mate, props to you, because I don't think I've ever kept any of my New Year's resolutions up from the previous years. Me and Byron and Freya, and I think we wrote some for Anna once, we all do like New Year's resolutions in a jar. We are yet to open our ones from the prior year, but I dread to think what I even wrote. I'm sure it was like, keep up a healthy workout routine every day and get toned and probably do some traveling or something that I never got to do. But I like it for like aspiration wise, maybe like an aspiration for your job or something, but I don't like it for, I don't know, like finalizing your year. It's really weird, I don't know how to explain it. So I don't necessarily have any resolutions as such, but we'll just have one more bite before I finish. I've had a few resolutions, I guess you could call them, such as I want to try and do yoga every single day for 30 days though. I don't want to promise myself that I'm going to do it all the time for a year. I just want to promise myself that I will show up and be there and try and do it. And I basically learned this from the girl that I'm watching actually on YouTube with the yoga series. I believe she's called Adrienne, And oh god, I just respect what she's saying so much. She basically says that if you can't do it to your full standard, don't beat yourself up about it, because that is the worst part. I hate when you go to do like a workout and you don't do it to your full standard and you like kind of hate yourself and you just feel so let down. It's just not a nice feeling when you went into it with such good intentions. So Adrienne basically says that you should just be happy that you showed up. The fact that you were even determined to try and do this is really good, and that's all that should matter. And I was like, do you know what? She has a point. So I'm happy that I even showed up to do it. Definitely some meat in there. I'm not gonna let you get away. No, I'm gonna let her get away. So I started doing her 30-day challenge, and it's only my second day, so I don't really know what I'm talking about. It's very hard. Yoga is incredibly difficult. I don't really know how people can do it every day, but I guess you get to that point once you train your muscles and everything. So after I've ate all this and it's settled down a little bit, I'm gonna do some night yoga. So it's my day 2, but I'm doing it in the night because it really hurts and it's also kind of relaxing, puts your brain in a good vibe. So gonna do some yoga before I go to sleep. This sauce is definitely the best. I'm still not sure what it is though. I don't want to like ruin my prawn and put it in that one if it's lemon butter, because I really didn't like that last time. But then I feel like I'm gonna have to. Oh, let's do it with bread. I'm just scared. I don't know what that is. What I'm hoping it's not is that I paid extra for garlic butter. These 3 all came last time as well when I ordered, and it's because I ordered extra garlic butter. So I'm hoping this is it, and that's not it. Because if I've been paying extra for that every single time, I'm really gonna cry. That's gonna be really sad. Can you even see the sauces? Guys have been depriving you. Oh. God, I'm so sorry about that. I hope you can see everything else on my plate. Yeah, that doesn't need to move, you're fine. So another resolution is to, I don't really know how to explain this one. Basically just try to be the best version of myself that I can be. This one is one that I'm definitely going to stick to, obviously. There will be times that I make mistakes. I know I'm 22, but my God, you grow every single day of your life. So noisy here. Every single day of your life, you're learning, you're growing. You could learn, snap that one off a bit too early. You could learn a massive life lesson even at the age of 40. Every single person is learning and growing every single day. That's not to excuse bad behavior though. I'm just saying that because I don't want to sit here and pretend and preach that I'm like a little Miss Know-It-All and I've got myself together and I'm the best version of myself I possibly can be, because God no, I'm far from that. But what I do want to focus on is just being unapologetic for the things I want. So for example, going through quite a difficult time right now, and I'm not gonna look at other people and what they think of my actions and feel bad about it and then stop myself from doing stuff because I don't want to upset other people. Basically, I'm not gonna live my life to please other people, is what I mean. Because I do that. I do that very often, and if life has taught me anything, it's that it's too short, and if I want to do something, I'm going to do it. That is the conclusion that I've came to. That one was quite small. Should probably use another sauce by now. I feel like this type of content is like so weird for my channel, because if you don't watch it, you don't get it. Like the girls who know, you know what I'm saying? This is like the content that I like to watch on YouTube. So I'm hoping There's some of the quirky girls out there. Oh, not that it's very quirky, but I don't really, this is really annoying that I keep speaking in between each, what would you even call that? I don't want to say suck, PG friendly over here. Jokes, I'm not PG friendly. I'm gonna have some pasta. Yeah, it's gonna look really weird to other people that have like, not never seen it, but it's not really their thing. It took me a while to get into mukbangers. I watch the ones that are like silent and don't really say anything, because I like to watch what they're eating pretty much. Like, I'll watch seafood boils all the time. I think is it spicy with tea or tasty with tea? Oh, she's like a fave. And I'll literally just sit and watch, and they don't talk, so I guess I'm kind of ruining the aspects. But then I don't even know if people would want to see that from me. But this is making me happy. It's good food, good company, you know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about a few things that I need to address before I come back to YouTube. Wow. Guys, this is fuck, this is nice. This probably doesn't even look that good to you guys, but it literally is just hitting the right spots. I feel like something like this is comfort food, you know what I'm saying? I've got a little prawn leg on my screen, ew. So apart from those two things, going back to the point, I don't have any resolutions, don't have any goals, but not resolutions. I think it's kind of a toxic thing. It's fun at first, like people are like, I'm gonna eat healthy. I don't do this because I don't smoke, but people are like, I'm gonna stop smoking, I'm gonna stop drinking, I'm gonna do all this. And I think it's really, really good to have the motivation there. Like, gives you a little bit of motivation, and a new year feels so fresh, and do you know what I mean? But it can be, it's just so toxic. It is, and I'm sorry to say. If it works for you, it works for you. For me, it doesn't. I just get really down in the dumps when I don't succeed in my resolutions. So, oh, this one, because it's been under the rice, it's like literally falling apart. Oh wow. There's gonna be so many people out there that don't like seafood. Because I know a lot of my friends don't. I've always asked them to go to Jimmy's with me, and the only person that would ever go with me was Brad, because no one else likes seafood. God, that was hard. So could be the same with you guys. You guys might not like it. I'm pretty sure Byron's got into it now actually. He likes seafood because he has sushi. But then this is a different kind of seafood in the sense of it's got the shell on. Sushi's sushi. Do you know what I mean? Oh. But what I do want to do, just before I head into another question, what I do want to do this year is I want to do a lot of eating stuff, but not necessarily mukbangs, because I know they can get quite repetitive. But I watch Naomi Jean, if anyone else does. Excuse me. And she does a thing where she tries stuff that her viewers have requested, and I thought, oh, I could do that. Or, because she does quite like a few cuisines, it's really interesting. Or I could just do trying a different cuisine for a week or for a day and see where I get with it. So I'm thinking of doing it as a series, and you guys can help me out, because if you have something that's, I don't know, it could be like a tradition in your family to always have, or it could be part of your religion to have, or part of your, I don't know, just your family's cuisine. Do you know what I mean? So if you're Italian, you can tell me typical Italian foods to eat, because there's a lot of typical things on the internet. There's a lot of popular Italian dishes, popular Indian dishes that I could search, but I never know whether they're like the real traditional dishes, you know what I'm saying? Or whether they're just westernized. So I'd love if you guys could help me out and comment down below what your cuisine is, and if there's anything that you really think I should try, and I'd build up a little portfolio and then yeah. It would obviously be more fun than just me sat here, and I wouldn't order the food in necessarily. I'd want to try and cook a lot of it because I feel that's better. Naomi Jean does that. She tries to cook all of it unless she can't find it, obviously, and then she'll order it online, which I think, oh, it's just so good. So I'm going to be filming the, what was it, Unpopular Taste or something? I can't remember. I asked you guys on Instagram. It was like, oh, weird food combinations. How could I forget? I'm so looking forward to filming that. I'm going to be filming that soon, and I'm super excited. I have seen some of them and stuff like this. I don't know why, like, just content surrounded by food makes me so happy. Oh, this is another thing actually. So a lot of you have been asking how I'm dealing with grieving. For those of you that don't know, I lost my nan. It was only about 10 days ago now. And you're probably thinking, wow, Haz, you look pretty good to say that you just lost your best friend. I know. I'm basically doing the route of working, and so you can't think about it. But I know that's unhealthy. I have had my downtime. Every single day I have my downtime and I cry about it. I catch myself having moments every 10 seconds. And yeah, grieving is grieving. Everyone does it differently. But my thought process behind it all is that once I stop this, it'll all just hit me. And I'm going to allow myself that when the funeral comes. I will have however many weeks off that I will need to, but I'm prepping for that now. Like, I'm filming, pre-filming for it so that I can keep my schedule and I can have my like time off without it looking like time off. Does that make sense? I know that grieving is a really long process, especially when it's someone who is so close to you. And of course I'm going to allow myself that, but my nan was my biggest supporter. She literally loved watching my videos. She was the first person to watch my videos. I mean that in both literal senses. Like, she was the first person to watch my singing videos when I was younger, and she was always the first one to watch it when I uploaded, and she would always be on my back if I didn't upload. So I feel like everything I'm going to do from this point on is just in her memory, and I wouldn't want to stop doing what I'm doing because I'm sad or I'm grieving, because that's not what she'd want. My nan wouldn't want me to stop. She'd want me to be strong and she'd want me to carry on. Literally the last thing she would ever want anyone to do is to stop carrying on with their lives. That's just not the woman she was. It's not what her beliefs and interests were. So we're all not carrying on with our lives as such. Like, I haven't been living my day-to-day life like I normally would. But I've got back into work because of just how much of a big support she was for me. And like, you guys knew her. She was on my videos. You guys adored her. She was the funniest woman I've ever had the pleasure of knowing in my whole entire life. And I believe, contrary to some of your beliefs possibly, that she's still here, she's still looking down on me, and I want to keep going for her. It's like the videos are in memory of her, if that makes any sense. So don't worry, I did wash my hand, in case you're thinking, oh my god, she's touching her hair with greasy hands. I did wash my hands. I feel like a lot of content is going to stay the same. I don't feel like making any changes. I still am the person that I was. I still want to do advice videos, and I want to still do the People's Diary, because she absolutely loved that stuff. She absolutely loved it. And if this grieving process has taught me anything, it's that life is too damn short. I'm saying this to you people at home, if you want to start YouTube, just start YouTube. I know, honestly, like, I know it is so hard, but just do it. You'd regret it so much if you could watch back your life. God forbid, but let's say you live a short life. God forbid, I hope that does not happen. And you got to look back on your life, you're just going to be like, I wish I did more. There was so much more I wish I did. I wish I did that thing that I loved that I was too scared to show people. I wish I told that person I loved them more. That is a thing that a lot of me and my family are going through. We all told my nan how much we loved her all the time. I'm a very lovable person. Lovable? Am I lovable? I don't know. I'm a very loving person in the sense of I always tell the people around me that I love them. But sometimes you feel like you just can't say it enough, and I feel like when you lose someone, that's something you go through. You think, oh, I wish I didn't have that argument with them, and I wish I told them I love them at this moment, and I wish I said more things to them before they went. And it's stuff like that that you can't dwell on because it makes you feel so guilty. And I was speaking to Evie Clark about this, love Evie. Sadly, obviously, she lost her mum, and her grieving process, she was explaining to me stuff that has helped her. My God, that girl is so strong. She is so strong, and she's helped me so much with just words of wisdom and just ways of coping. I really am thankful for her for reaching out. She didn't have to, obviously, but for reaching out and just giving, like, not that you can even have tips on how to grieve, but just ways of coping and ways of seeing more light than darkness with it, because a lot of the time you can consume yourself so much with the darkness of grieving. I know I definitely did at the beginning, but I'm now trying to just be more positive, and instead of being like, oh, she had so much of her life left to live, I'm now being like, she had such a good life with so many people that loved her, and that's all I can be thankful for, and that's all my family can be thankful for too. But I do firmly believe she is somewhere in the sky watching me eat these lovely prawns, and she'd be very jealous that she's not eating them herself, even though she wouldn't have the shell on. That's not her vibe, guys. Fave TV shows that you would recommend at the moment. Flipping back into the positivity, thank you so much. So, I would recommend Scream. If no one's seen the series Scream, oh, I was hooked. Like, it had me by the neck, I was so hooked. Great cast. A lot of people say it's bad acting, but I really enjoyed it, because I'm that person that loves Scream Queens. Like, Scream Queens is another one. American Horror Story, obviously, I haven't seen that. But I actually like acting like that. I like the cringy stuff. It doesn't really bother me that much. Unless it's really cringy and awful, then I can't watch it. What was I watching the other day that was like that? Put a film on Netflix. It was new to Netflix. I think it was in the top 10. It was in the top 10. What was it? How was I burping? It's definitely the garlic butter. And I turned it off straight away. I was like, I can't even watch this acting. It's just so bad. Like, why would it be in the top 10 if the acting is so awful? I say that when I can't act. What else would I recommend? Married at First Sight is really good. Toxic, but really good. If any of you guys have seen that. And there's so many versions. If you're bored and you can't think of anything to watch, Married at First Sight, they've got UK, they've got Canadian, Australian. I haven't seen any others. I'm sure there's an American one, probably is. But honestly, it's so good and it's so binge worthy and you get so addicted. Young Sheldon, love that kid. I'm a fan of Big Bang Theory anyway. I grew up with it because of my brothers. So if you've ever seen Big Bang Theory, Young Sheldon is basically like Sheldon growing up, obviously. But it's such a good series. It really is good. Guys, this was the best combo I could have ever chose. Thank you so much, Jimmy's, for making such beautiful food. Okay, this one's interesting. How have you found a healthy work, life and social balance? I'm really struggling. Okay. I feel like it's really difficult for me to comment on this, again, because I come from a place of privilege where I work from home. I know a lot of people can't do that, and when I say work from home, I mean I literally am my own boss. So I have my own timeline, I have my own schedule, I can make myself do things extra, like extra work, and no one's going to give me credit apart from me. if I fall behind, no one else is going to suffer apart from me. Whereas a lot of people who are watching this, you're not in the same situation as me. You will have a boss, or you'll have a 9-to-5 job that you physically have to go in for, and stuff like that. It's so much harder to balance your work, social life, and just being an actual human being life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how people are expected to have a healthy diet and go to the gym and see friends so that your mental health doesn't go down the drain, and also sleep well, but also show up for your work on time and do all the hard work that you're expected to do every single day. And then the other stuff, like just life in general. I don't actually know how it's possible. I did it when I was at uni somehow. I worked at Urban Outfitters, and I'd finish Urban at like, well, I don't know, sometimes I did night shift, sometimes I did a night shift that went on till 7 AM, and then I'd go home, sleep for 2 hours, and I'd go to uni. And then even after uni, that would finish at sometimes, I don't know, 5 or 6. This is like probably the worst day of my uni life. I'd then go out and see friends. I don't get how I did it. I do look back at my past self and think, wow, material girl, you're really working it. But to those who can do it, props. I would love to say I have advice for you, but I'm again coming from a place of privilege that I can sit here and do a mukbang. Do you know what I mean? Not a lot of people could do that. Some people are rushing off their feet to cook for a family of 7. Privilege. I don't have to do that. So the most thing I can say is, not that we have the same 24 hours in a day, I'm not going to say that. But and I know it's super hard because I hate getting up early in the morning. Like even 7 AM is super early for me, and props to the people that get up in the middle of the night and go to work. Props to the people that work through the night and literally do the hardest jobs. I pretty much have a walk in the park here. But if you can, before you go to work, if you work 9 to 5, just get up an extra hour earlier. Hopefully, I know it will be really hard in the beginning, but hopefully after 21 days you'll form a habit, I'm pretty sure. So after those 21 days it will feel kind of normal. You'll reset your body clock to an hour earlier, and it'll be easier to get up. It will be really hard, it will be really hard. And then with that extra hour you can do what you want. If you're hoping to read a book, or if you're hoping to do some yoga or do a workout routine, or my god, there's so many other things you could do with an extra hour in the morning. But whatever they are, or I wouldn't suggest going to bed later at night, because then it's even more difficult to go to sleep and it can make you tiresome. But I think getting up in the morning an hour earlier is so much more beneficial. I will admit though, I'm very guilty of wasting a lot of hours. For example, today I woke up at 8:30 and what did I even do this morning? Had a shower, and then I went to, I think it was tidy the flat. I did a deep clean yesterday, but then I did like a declutter, and I just had clothes everywhere. So I was gonna wake up and do some cleaning, and then I was gonna go straight into filming. I was hoping to be filming by like 12 o'clock after I ate and everything. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. I sat on the sofa and I just sat and watched TikToks until about 5 o'clock. It's not good. I was kind of just in my own little world, and I'm not even going to blame that on anything that's going on in my life right now. I'm not going to blame it on grieving. I'm not going to blame it on just going through a shit life. I'm not going to blame it on any of that. It was my own pushback. I was doing it to myself. I wanted to sit there and watch TikToks and not do my work. And again, I had the privilege to do that. Obviously, some people have to work in that sense, but everything I did today was like extra work to benefit myself in the future. For example, I want to get my schedule back on track. I wanted to get my Instagram back up and running because I've really neglected that recently, and it looks good to brands. So that's basically what I was doing today, is trying to get my life back on track, trying to get my work back on track after having a month and a half off. And the only person I was hindering in that situation was myself, and it was pure laziness. That is what it was. I'm gonna call it what it is. Obviously a lot of other people could be like, oh, you're going through a hard time, so you're allowed to have those down times. Yes, I get that, but I have been relaxing a lot recently. I have been doing that a lot, where I sit on the sofa and I just get lost in TikTok, and it's really not good. It's not good for anyone, regardless of what situation you're going in. If you want to be proactive, you need to lower your screen time, which, going back to the New Year's resolutions, it is a thing I want to improve on. I want to start reading my books again like I did in lockdown, because my God, I get hooked on books. And I think tonight, what I'm going to do after I've cleaned all this up and took my makeup off, I'm obviously going to do the, well, yoga. I'm going to do stretch yoga. I'm not going to do a full hour like what I did the other day. I'm just going to do stretch yoga because I've had a big meal. And then I'm going to read a book, because it really calms your mind before bed. So if anyone struggles to sleep, I do recommend reading. But also not being on your phone, so reducing the blue light stops you from staying up later, helps you get to sleep more, and also just stops consuming your mind with useless stuff. I don't need to be on TikTok till 5 o'clock in the morning, but I have been doing that. This one is really important to me, because the whole of last year was basically this question. So, how do you get over constant FOMO even if you're not up for doing anything? My God, if anxiety could be in a nutshell, for me anyway, I know it ranges, that would be it. That would literally be it. All of last year, I was getting FOMO from like not being invited to things that I didn't even need to be invited to. It was just like my friends hanging out normally. And there was times where one of us wasn't there and the other person didn't get jealous. But me, I got jealous. I thought it was the end of the world, and I thought people were like doing it on purpose to be malicious, and it wasn't really like that. It was just people having fun, living their lives, and I obviously just really thought, main character vibes, hello, they're leaving me out. But it wasn't that. I had really bad anxiety last year. It flared up out of nowhere, and I basically started just taking it out on the people closest to me, which is fucking awful. But you can't help it. It isn't an excuse. It is not an excuse, and I don't want anyone to excuse my actions either. There's a lot of people that, like, not that I hurt, but I just drifted away from because my anxiety was flaring up, and I'd bail on plans, and I'd not respond to messages, and I'd look too far into things and think that they're being malicious with stuff, but they weren't. They were just living their lives as they always have and always will. And my brain that year just decided to mess with me. That was what it was. So I really experienced FOMO to things that, even to things that I got invited to, and then I wouldn't fill up for it, so then I'd say no, and then I felt FOMO about it. It was really weird. But then there was a lot of times as well where I forced myself to go to certain things, and I'd feel horrific. Quite frankly, I'd feel absolutely awful. And then I'd regret even going, which is bad to say. It is a really horrible thing to say, really, because I don't want my friends to think that I don't like being in their company. It's not that. It's just sometimes you're so emotionally exhausted, physically exhausted, drained, mentally exhausted, and you don't even have a social battery anymore. You're just kind of like, I just want to sit there and stare at the ceiling. Like, I don't want to actually converse with anyone right now. No, I definitely went through that. Really bad. Luckily now, my friends understand. But back then it was really rough. Like, no one knew what was going on with me, because I didn't speak up about it. That's a lie. The only person I spoke up to about it was my nan, but it's my nan, you know what I mean? I thought this platter was only supposed to have 8 prawns, and I've definitely got more than 8. The best advice that I can give you is to communicate. Because if I did that way back then and I said to my friends, look, I'm just feeling super anxious, I really want to be there, but blah, 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 I probably would have solved a lot of our problems. And also, I don't really know how I would have communicated this. I guess I could have just said, look, my anxiety is really flaring up, and seeing you guys together tonight without me there or something is really making me feel, I was about to say unwell, mentally unwell. It's just making me feel really anxious, and it's making me feel like you don't like me, and I wish I just was more open, because I did try to be, but I executed it in a really bad way. I instead would message my friends having a go at them, being like, oh my god, you've hurt my feelings so much, I can't believe you're leaving me out, I hope you're not doing it in a malicious way, it feels like you are. And I basically just attacked them instead of like hearing their side, and I didn't even need to hear their side. I actually didn't need to hear their side. A lot of the times people do just want to hang out. I don't know, sometimes I just want to hang out with Byron, and I don't mean it in any horrible way to anyone else. I just want Byron's company at that point in time, and I don't want just too many people there. Sometimes I want every fucker under the sun there. Very rare occasion, in the sense of I don't necessarily like going out as much anymore just because of like people and stuff, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I have a really random flare and I'm like, yeah, I just want to be around loads of people. And that's my old self coming back. I used to be such a people person. I feel like I am still. I do love hanging out with new people. That doesn't scare me or anything. I love hanging out with new people, and I love being around people, but more so recently in the past year, I've just kind of liked my own company or just being with one person. That obviously was Brad for the whole of last year. Like, he was kind of my comfort person. But we've all spoken about it, and that is the one thing I want to say to you. Communication with your friends is the most important thing, and as long as they understand what you're going through, they can invite you to more things, which is what my friends ended up doing once we had like a big chat. They then made even more of an effort to do things for us all to do stuff together, and it helped. It really did help, and they knew that even if I declined, it was nice that the offer was there. And the only person that I could blame for myself having FOMO then was myself, and I could deal with that because I knew I needed a rest. Do you know what I mean? I knew that I needed to give myself time. I needed to give myself that day. I feel like my radiator cover is melting. Or have I just been staring at the camera for too long? I swear it's going like this. Maybe I need to stop with this. Whoa, what just happened? Maybe I need to stop this mukbang. Yeah, I think so. So this video's not going to go to waste, I'm going to have it a little bit later, but obviously I don't want to eat too much because I am doing some yoga, and I don't think it's healthy to do yoga on a full stomach. I'm getting a little bit full, but I'm definitely going to save this for when I'm snacking for a film later. And yeah, I want to know if you guys enjoyed this. I don't know if it's a style of video that you'd want to see again, but I'd love to do like big mukbangs, maybe get my friends involved. I really want to do a seafood boil, but cook it myself. I have yet to find anywhere in Manchester that even does a seafood boil, but I really do want to do one myself because I think that'd be such a good achievement, and I really want to get into cooking more this year. I guess that's a New Year's resolution, or a New Year's goal, is that I want to get into cooking more this year. Yeah, so let me know in the comments if anyone has any tips on anything that I've spoken about in this video. It would help me, and it would also help other people out who are watching and just snooping through the comments. So grieving is probably the main one I want to talk about because it would help me massively. Thankfully, I'm very new to this. I say thankfully because I'm lucky to have got to the age of 22 and not have lost someone when I'm old enough to understand what's going on. I did lose my granddad when I was younger, but I couldn't really process it because I was quite young. Whereas I think I'm quite blessed to have got this far and not lost anyone close to me. But with that being said, I always think people could do with some advice on grieving because it is a natural thing that happens. All of us are sadly gonna have to experience it at some point in our lives. I pray and pray that it's not until that person has lived their life to the absolute fullest. But yeah, I'd like some help on that, so I'm asking you guys to help me out here. That's all I have to say, really. So I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, by the way, hi, I'm Haz. I'm really shocked you got to the end of the video. I probably should have said that at the start. My socials and my TED Talks and my People's Diary forums are all on the link tree in the description. There are also some important links on there that I'd love you to check out. If you ever have anything to update those links with, by the way, definitely leave it down below as well. Anything that needs a little bit more of attention, bit of a push behind it, anything to raise awareness for, anything like that. That garlic butter's really not agreeing with me. Do you know my dad's allergic to garlic, and so is my nan on my dad's side? I'm now thinking, am I allergic to garlic? It's really repeating itself for me. Anyway, that's one for the next episode. Love you all so much. I've already said it, but I love you all so much, and I will see you in the next video, guys.